I've worked nights for years. Different sites, different cities, same story. Empty hallways, stale coffee, and that goddamn hum of fluorescent lights that never quite shuts up. People think the job's boring. They're right, until it isn't. My current post is at a half-dead office complex just outside the city. Used to be a tech startup hub before half the companies went bankrupt or relocated. Now it's mostly dust, forgotten desks, and flickering security monitors. Most nights I sit in the control room, surrounded by 12 cameras feeding live footage from all over the building. 11 of them show absolutely nothing, just darkness and decay. But camera 6, that one's different. It watches a hallway in the east wing, the part that burned 5 years ago. That wing's been sealed off ever since. No power, no access. Nobody goes in. Nobody comes out. Or at least, that's what I thought. It started around 2:13 a.m. I remember the time exactly because I'd just poured a fresh cup of coffee and was about to scroll through my phone. That's when I heard the buzz. Not the usual background noise. This was sharp, like static tearing at the edges of the feed. I looked up. Camera 6 was glitching. White noise, scan lines, like an old VHS on its last breath. And in the middle of the frame, there was someone standing in the hallway. At first, I figured it was a trick, a weird shadow or light artifact. Happens all the time with old cameras. But as I leaned in, the shape didn't move, didn't flicker or shift like a trick of the light. It was a person. No, more than that. It was a man. Tall. Still, facing the camera. I couldn't make out the face, the feed was too grainy, but there was something eerily familiar about the posture. The way he stood. I blinked, checked the time again. Still 2:13. I flipped to another camera. Nothing. I flipped back to 6. Still there. Still him. I grabbed my flashlight and keyring and made my way down the stairs. Old habits die hard. You see something on a screen, you go check it out. That's the job, right? The east wing was quiet. Too quiet. The door to the burned-out hallway was still chained shut, same as always. The lock hadn't been touched, dust undisturbed. But still, I could feel it, like I was being watched. I stayed a few minutes, shined my light down the corridor through the gap in the door. Just black. Nothing. Eventually I headed back upstairs. When I returned to the control room, my coffee had gone cold. The monitor for camera 6 was still buzzing, still glitching. And that figure? Still there. Only now, he was closer, just a few feet from the camera lens. I leaned in. And that's when my stomach dropped. He was wearing a uniform. My uniform. Same badge, same jacket, same goddamn posture. But the face. The face was wrong. Twisted off. Like someone tried to remember me from a dream and got it almost right. That was 2 nights ago. I haven't told anyone. Who would believe me? But every night since then, same time, same glitch. He gets closer. And tonight, I think he's going to reach the camera. Or maybe worse. He's going to leave it. They sealed the east wing 5 years ago after the fire. No one ever talks about what caused it. Some say it was faulty wiring. Others whisper it was arson. All I know is that since I started working here, the door's been padlocked, the lights disconnected, and camera 6 has been the only eye left watching that hallway. Until now, I didn't care about the fire. I didn't ask questions. I just showed up, logged my hours, and tried not to fall asleep. But ever since he showed up, I can't stop thinking about it. I spent the day digging around online, old articles, archived reports, city planning documents. Most of it was scrubbed clean, like someone wanted it forgotten. But I found one thing. There was a body. A man was trapped during the fire, a night guard, just like me. They never found out why he didn't evacuate. His name was Marcus Keller, 42 years old, divorced, lived alone. Last seen doing his rounds the night the east wing went up in flames. They say when the firefighters arrived, he was still alive, banging on the inside of a locked office door, screaming to be let out. But by the time they broke in, he was gone. Not dead. Just gone. That part stuck with me. Gone. No remains. No soot-covered bones, nothing. Just scorched concrete and a desk that was still warm to the touch. I thought it was a ghost story, a campfire rumor. But last night, I swear to God, I saw him again. Same time, 2:13 a.m. Same glitch on camera 6, only this time, he wasn't just standing still. He was pacing, back and forth, his hands twitching, head jerking, like he was looking for something, or someone. He'd walk to the edge of the frame, vanish, then reappear on the other side like the footage was stuck on a loop. But it wasn't. The timestamp kept moving. And then something new happened. He stopped pacing, and turned his head directly at the camera. Not a glance, a full locked stare. like he knew I was watching. And then he smiled. I didn't sleep after that. I came in tonight ready, flashlight, crowbar, bolt cutters. I told myself I was just going to check the door again, make sure the lock hadn't been tampered with. That's it. But when I got there, the chain was still on. Only the lock was melted. No signs of force, no heat damage on the wall or the handle. Just the lock, like someone had placed a blowtorch right on the metal and let it drip like wax. The weird part? The chain was still looped perfectly through the handles, as if it had never been touched. I backed away slowly. My body wanted to run, but my brain, it started piecing things together. A guard dies in that hallway. The fire doesn't take his body. Years later, someone wearing my face shows up on the same camera, at the same time. And now the lock on the fire wing is gone. It's not a glitch. It's a door. And something just walked through it. They say when you work nights long enough, time stops making sense. You blink, and 3 hours pass. Or you stare at the same wall, the same monitor, and the clock doesn't move for what feels like forever. But what happened last night wasn't just in my head. Time actually stopped. And then, it repeated. 2:13 a.m. Same moment. Same glitch. Camera 6 flickered to life like it always does. And there he was. Same figure. Same pacing. But this time, I noticed something strange. Every time he passed under the broken ceiling light, a droplet of water fell from the same spot, and hit the floor in the exact same way. Not similar. Identical. The timing. The sound. The splash pattern. I rewound the footage 5 times. I recorded it. It never changed. It wasn't live video. It was a loop. I leaned in closer, frame by frame. He paces. Drip. Turns. Drip. Stops. Drip. Every gesture. Every twitch of his neck. Every flick of his eye. Exactly the same. Then I realized. He wasn't walking in the hallway. He was walking through the footage. I know how insane that sounds, but there's no other way to describe it. The hallway itself looked off. The shadows didn't line up with the known light sources. The perspective was wrong. Like he wasn't actually in the building. He was, in the video, trapped. Or maybe, hiding inside it. And the worst part? When I paused the footage, just for a second, his head snapped around. He noticed. I pulled the plug on camera 6, yanked the cord right out of the wall. The screen went black, and then something impossible happened. The screen stayed on, still flickering, still showing him. Only now, the time code was gone. And the figure? He wasn't pacing anymore. He was standing still, closer to the camera than ever. I stared, frozen. The breath left my chest when I saw it. He had my eyes, not just the color. My eyes. Same twitch I get when I'm sleep deprived. Same tired, sunken stare I see in the mirror at 4 a.m. It wasn't just a doppelganger. It was me. The lights in the control room flickered. All 12 cameras glitched. Every monitor blinked to static. Then they all showed camera 6. 12 angles. Same loop. Except now, the figure wasn't alone. There were others. 5. A dozen. All in security uniforms. All standing silently in that scorched hallway. All with empty eyes and broken smiles. All staring directly at me. That's when I understood. This isn't about a haunted hallway. It's a trap. A loop. A copy of a copy of a copy. A hallway that repeats itself forever, pulling in every poor bastard who watches it for too long. I turned away from the screen, heart racing. And that's when I heard the whisper. Right behind me. You're already inside. I didn't go home. After what I saw, I couldn't. Not because I was afraid. Not just that. But because I knew it wouldn't matter. You don't walk away from something like this. Not once it knows your name. Not once it wears your face. I sat in the control room until sunrise, staring at the black screen where camera 6 used to be. It stopped flickering sometime around 5:20 a.m. Went completely dead. For a moment, I thought it was over. I thought maybe I'd broken the chain just by refusing to look. But then I caught my reflection in the dark monitor, and he blinked before I did. That's when I knew. It was never about camera 6. The camera was a window, a lure, a crack in the glass between two realities. One real. One copied. A loop isn't just repetition. It's imitation. And I'd been watching myself for too long. And now, something else was watching back. So I made a choice. One more trip to the East Wing. One more step into the place where it all began. If it wanted me, if it needed me to join the footage, then fine. Let's see what happens when the watcher walks into the screen. The melted lock was gone. No chain. No scorch marks. Just the hallway. Dark. Silent. Cold. But I walked through it anyway. Every step echoed wrong. Too sharp. Too loud. Like the sound wasn't bouncing off real walls. Like I was walking on recorded sound. Halfway down, I passed under the broken ceiling light, the one where the droplet falls. Except this time, it didn't fall. The drip froze in midair, suspended like it was stuck in pause. Then I saw them. All of them. 12 guards. 12 versions of me. Lined up along the corridor, shoulder to shoulder. Blank expressions. Pale eyes. Like mannequins made from memory. They didn't move. Didn't blink. Except one. The one in the middle. The one that started it all. He stepped forward. We stood face to face. And I saw the truth. He wasn't trying to replace me. He was trying to warn me. This wasn't his prison. It was his grave. He'd been stuck here, reliving the same moment again and again, trying to reach out, trying to find someone like me, someone who could see the glitch and not look away. And now, it was my turn. He raised his hand, touched my chest, and for the first time, I felt heat. Not cold, not fear, fire. The kind that burns tape, the kind that erases loops. And in that moment, I understood. To break the cycle, you don't run, you don't close the camera, you walk into the footage, and burn it from the inside. I screamed, or maybe he did, or maybe we both did, as we merged into one frame. Fire roared around us, the hallway cracked, the footage tore, and for one brief moment, just one, I saw a flash of something real. An empty room, a blank screen, and my own face. Gone. They found me outside just before dawn, passed out near the east wing. The hallway? Gone. Completely collapsed. No footage on any of the tapes. Camera 6 is just static now. People ask why I quit the job. I tell them the truth. I don't watch cameras anymore. Because sometimes, if you look long enough, they look back.